This building, actually, that is a funny little building to me because it's located on what I found out today, what is actually, I think, the largest traffic circle in the United States. This thing, and you guys have heard me kind of express some wonder and sort of bewilderment at the presence of this giant ass traffic circle. And I think much to what I was expecting, it turns out that traffic circle was built around a protected wetland, you know. So yeah, that's kind of that's kind of why it still exists and why nobody's bothered to like sort of fill it in with a standard interchange or intersection, you know. And I have to say I'm a fan of traffic circles myself, I guess. Yeah, I think I would say I am. So it's it's a really neat. Ooh, excuse me. It's a really neat little traffic circle. Really neat, huge traffic circle, I should say. And I have to say, I've always kind of wondered. Look at this man here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. What a pimp. Oh, what a pimp. Now, Brian. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of. Well, anyways, this building over here that I was starting to point out, is just off the traffic circle. Now, mind you, I have some minor complaints about how the traffic circle is designed. It's not quite a circle; it's more of a square. I would say it's a kind of a rounded off square. And those, the fact that it's a square means that you have to kind of make these sharp turns every so often. You know, specifically 4 times per lap. If you treat it as a racetrack, which I sometimes did if I was going through some rough times and just happened to have the Clico car on me at the time, those fools. No, but anyways, yes. So I love that. So this building over here, it turns out, is a lawyer. It's a law office, and I shit you not, that law office is personal injury. It's like, it's personal injury lawyer, and I think also like car accident lawyer, kind of thing, like, car insurance claims and I guess, that type of thing. Basically, this guy, these fuckers make a living off of car accidents in Alexandria, which turns out, as some of you recent veterans of the show might recall, happen quite fucking frequently in this town. And it's not hard to figure out why. I mean, look at this shit. I mean, here's hey A-Trans. That's our bus. That's our bus service here in town. But yeah, I mean, look at this. Mind you, I don't expect a lot these days, but I do expect fucking sidewalks. Again, it's the year 2023. Why have we not built sidewalks yet? I mean, and to their credit, the city of Alexandria has now decided to